Hello, I'm just doing another real quick video talking about starting our own businesses and the black community. Black people, we have to support our own businesses. We gotta start our own businesses. And to those who are entrepreneurs like myself, the black community needs us to succeed. We have to become successful. The only way we can do so is from our own communities. So even if you have to work with those who don't like us to succeed, we have to succeed. So I'll give you an example. Right now, Facebook is probably one of the biggest platforms in the world. So is YouTube, so is Google, Instagram, or Twitter, or whatever. So the way we're going to communicate is through those platforms, and those of you who see this video can feel free to argue with me or not. And we know that the system isn't set up against us, whether it be from the government, social media, whatever. But we have to be able to use those systems to our benefit and to succeed. In order for us to spread and get the word out, we have to be able to use Facebook, Google, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, whatever, and get out there and succeed. So whether that means paying these companies to advertise our stuff, if we have to do so, we have to do so. Because as we build up, then we can start creating our own systems, or then we can work with these companies from a position of power. Then we can say, okay, you know what? We're going to make our own platforms and do those things. But we can't do that unless we come together and get our money together. So like me, who's building my own business and starting it up, I need black folks to buy from me. And I'm going to start my own business channel as well. But eventually, I'm going to need it to come to a point where black folks buy from me, and then I can reinvest that money into other black people and keep the money circulating around. So those of us who decide, you know what, I want to build my own social network, my own Facebook, my own Twitter, my own Instagram, maybe like an all-in-one, my own YouTube, whatever, then we can support that because that costs money. Then, as all of us get onto it, I can do business with them, as well. Heck, maybe one day I'll be an owner in it and, use my business and fund it. So we can't be afraid to work with our enemies because it's just business. If Joe Biden comes out and says, you know what, I'm sorry and I'm going to do what I can do to fix it, that doesn't say automatically give him our votes. Doesn't say so. No. We have to vet every single one who does so. If Kamala Harris comes out and says something and all of a sudden comes with the right attitude, or if Bernie Sanders, or if any one of them, because we know the Democratic Party doesn't like us, neither do Republicans, none of them like us, but they want our votes. So we have to make them understand that our votes are for sale. It's a business transaction. You want our votes? Then fine. Come out with policy towards us that will benefit us. I've said time and time again, I'm not ADOS. My family's from Jamaica. But I'm an ADOS supporter. So, we have to come together and we have to say, you know what? If Bernie Sanders today, or if Cory Booker, or Kamala Harris, or any one of them who are running, come out today and say, you know what? I will support the bill of reparations and sign on to it. And to cut the check, we have to be willing to enter the conversation. Even if Donald Trump were to come out, because don't just believe that Donald Trump isn't paying attention. He's paying attention. He's paying attention. A lot of them are paying attention. Someone might get Donald Trump's ear and say, you know what? Let's give you an example. Let's say, for example, 6 months from now, or whenever the primaries start and they start going out to campaign and whatever, get his votes rounded up and whatnot, and he realizes that, you know what, I might lose. Someone might go in there and say, you know what, try to go for the black vote. come out and say you support cutting the check. As a matter of fact, you're a sitting president. Why don't you write an executive order that says police can no longer kill these people and not get away with it? Trump right now is in a position where he can actually do a lot for the black community. Just write an executive order and say, you know what? Any cop who shoots a black person, they're going to get investigated by the FBI. They're going to get treated like this. They're going to say, you know what? No paid time off. I guarantee you that will send shockwaves throughout the entire system. Or you know what? I'm going to allot this amount of federal funds to starting black businesses. Trump may not like us, but he wants our vote, so he may be willing to do what it takes to get our vote. So, in this system, we have to be open to all the options. To all the options. We have to be willing to do business with these people. And do business only. That's it. And in the future, look down the line and say, you know what? We went through demons to get here. We're going to go through even more demons to get out. So at the end of the day, we have to be willing to work with these people and to say, you know what? We can work with you. Right now, we have power. We have to use our power and do business. And as one day our power continues to grow, at some point we're going to be able to say, you know what? Now we're even more powerful. So we want this, we want that. Like I said in my last video, if we come to the table, so we want reparations, cut the check. We want to end mass incarceration. We want to change the 13th Amendment. We want our own schools. We want this, that, and the third. We come to the table with all these different things. And let's say, for example, we get, say, one goal out of that done. Let's say, for example, we get legislation that says, you know what, we can't lock up black folks the way we do anymore. Or let's say it comes and say, you know what, we have to change the 13th Amendment. And we just say, you know what, we can no longer allow companies to use private prisons. That still benefits us. Even if we say, you know what, we didn't get a check this time around, but we got legislation to say companies can no longer use private prisons as a way of making their stuff for cheaper. We got legislation to say, you know what, they have to build factories and actually create jobs this way. That means that, guess what, a lot of us can go get hired. Especially if the rules say you can't discriminate against them. If you get a law that says, you know what, you can no longer discriminate against people who have a criminal background. Unless it's for maybe murder or something else like that, or sex offender or whatever. That will help us out. So we have to be willing to work with these people. We have to understand that there are other groups in this country. There are others. And each group has their own needs. So we have to understand that politicians are bought. So a politician is not only going to come to your vote. He's going to go to everyone and say what everyone needs. And guess what? When they go to fight for it, they're going to say, you know what? The Asians want this. Whites want this. Blacks want this. Other groups want this. Guess what? Okay, you know what? I'm going to fight for all these different things. And when they come to the table, they say, you know what? Focus on getting one thing out the deal. Don't harp on, oh, we want everything or nothing. No, focus on getting one thing out the deal. Because once you get one, then it's easier to move on to the next. Because you make progress. Because we know that a lot of crimes in the black community come out of economics, lack of opportunity. So if we get something that says, okay, companies can no longer use private prisons, or they're going to outlaw private prisons in the entire country, and that companies have to build factories and actually hire people, and say, for example, a certain amount has to be black folks, and they can no longer discriminate against black people for a criminal record, that still helps us out. That still provides jobs for a lot of people. A lot of black people involved also. If they got a legislation that says, okay, you know what, we have to increase funding towards black businesses, that also creates jobs. So we have to be willing to come to the table and negotiate fairly for everyone. As long as we get one of our goals out the deal, it's still better than nothing. Because once you get one deal, one goal, then you can work on accomplishing that goal and another one. You can say, you know what? Okay, I wanted reparations. I wanted ending of mass incarceration. I wanted to change 13th Amendment. Okay, guess what? We affected mass incarceration. Okay, guess what? That means that we ended that. So companies no longer have an interest in locking our people up to get cheap labor, slavery. And mass incarceration means they are forced to create jobs and to build factories, which could then turn around and hire a lot of our people as well. Changing the 13th Amendment will then also end mass incarceration, which then leads to more jobs, which means that more money can come into the black community and that we can spend with our own people and build up together. But all of that can only be done if we come together and unite. Doesn't matter if you were born in this country, if your lineage is, if you have a line of slavery from this country or whatever. As long as you got black skin, we must unite. Whether it be darker than me, my shade, or paler than me. As long as the word of black applies to you, we have to unite. But anyways, y'all have a good day, black family.